to virtual business of with on the need time be structure complex um, show um, uh, do help going to go instruction pause one time cover um, now have videos go see 6 great so ask or so or growth so you got out and going to so your next is develop organic. Okay. So new product development could be simply increasing the range of products that your business sells. This might be innovating a product, it might be developing a new product, or it might be looking at research and development that you may have done within your business to do so. So an example of new product development could be Apple. I'm going to give you about 3 or 4 minutes just to pause the video now. What new product developments have Apple done? Write a list or an explanation, however you want to do this. Of course, Apple have lots of different products. They've got Apple TV, they've got the iPhone, they've had the computer, they've got the AirPods. There's lots of different products that they have. Entering a new market is another way of organic growth. Now, entering a new market can be very risky. So you've got to make sure as a business that you have done your research and you have done your due diligence to make sure that this is going to be a success. And it's not always going to be a success, so you are going to have to take a risk. However, entering a new market could be looking at a new market segment, a characteristic of someone. It could be age range, it could be income levels, it could be gender. Entering a new market also could be internationally. You could enter a new market in terms of going to a different country. So a UK business might want to enter the American market or the French market. Tesco's is a good example of that. Tesco's entered the market in China. Also, there are Tesco's in France. So entering new markets. What I'd like you to do now, I'm going to pause. Can you think of one advantage, one disadvantage for new product development? And then we're going to go one advantage and one disadvantage for entering new markets. I'm going to give you about 6 minutes, 8 minutes to do that task. Okay, so we're going to look at new product development. We're going to look at an advantage there. One of the main advantages, of course, if you develop new products, it's a new way of getting revenue, money into your business, and therefore you might be able to make a profit. Another advantage, of course, is competition. If you are competing with your competitors and you have a new product, it's a way of staying ahead of the competition. However, you probably guessed it, a disadvantage is cost. It can be very expensive for a business to develop a new product. So again, as I said before, making sure you've done your research and making sure that you understand that this can be a disadvantage is absolutely vital. Entering new markets then, an advantage, of course, is you can increase the amount of people that you, or customers, that you can target. And that is a massive advantage. Instead of, for example, the population of the UK being 65 million, you enter France, America, you've instantly increased the amount of customers you can target. However, a disadvantage, of course, is the fact that you may not know what those customers' tastes are. You may not know what those customers want. So entering new markets is unknown territory, and it can be a massive disadvantage. So make sure that you've written some, pause this, go back and write some notes about this. I'm just going to pause it to give you a chance to do that. Okay, so we're now going to look at inorganic growth, and we're going to look at takeovers and mergers. So what I'd like you to do, again, is try and find an explanation of a takeover and merger, and go through that answer if you can. I'm going to pause the video just to make sure. If you have already done that, just double check and come up with some examples if you can. Okay, so let's just look at a merger then to start off with. A merger is two businesses that come together. They join entities, they become one. A very good example is Currys and PC World. They were two separate businesses and they decided to merge, and they wanted to bring all of their businesses as one. A takeover is when one business takes over another business. They acquire it, they buy it, and they come to an agreement to take over the business at a cost, of course. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to come up with one advantage for growing a business by taking over another, and one advantage for merging two businesses together as a way of growing inorganically. And I'd like you to come up with one disadvantage for each as well. I'm going to give you 2 or 3 minutes to do that now. Okay, so we're going to look at the advantage of a merger first. Of course, competition can be eliminated if these two businesses come together. I mean, one of the main advantages is you're not competing against each other. PC World and Currys are now one business. They're not competing against each other, which they were in the past. Of course, a disadvantage to this is there might be some disagreements. I'm not sure if there were, but the name, for example, which comes first, Currys or PC World or Currys? Which one comes first? That could be an example of disagreements that come on. An advantage of a takeover, of course, is the growth can be a lot faster as a business. If you have organic growth, it might be a slow process, but inorganic growth, you take over a business and you're there already. It can be a lot bigger. New assets, of course, and new skills and new knowledge can be acquired if you take over a business. So you may have really excellent staff that are there working, and this is another advantage of taking over a business. Disadvantage, similar to mergers really. One of the main things is the considerable amount of money it would cost to take over, buy out another business. Same really with merging, but obviously joining together, all of the different signage and things you would have to change. But with a takeover, a disadvantage would be mainly down to the cost it would to take over. And of course, again, it's a risk. You don't know if it's going to be a success. Okay, what I'd like you to do is make sure that you've got all of those tables complete. Again, go back, pause the video and have a look and see what I've said. add information, get examples. You can go online, you can do your own research to this as well. Okay, I'll start the second lesson and add that on later, but first of all, please make sure that you email your teacher or submit via Show My Homework. Thank you very much.